Residents in the small northern New South Wales town of Dorrigo say they're living in fear after convicted paedophile Kevin Scott was released on parole back into their community. Sam was just 14 years old when he was assaulted by the convicted sex offender. The teenager, whose name we've changed to protect his identity, had been at work when he needed to use the bathroom. Serial paedophile Kevin Scott has been released into a small-town community. Minutes after walking into a public toilet, he was confronted by the then 71-year-old. "I was scared for my life," Sam said. Scott cornered the scared young teen in the cubicle and indecently assaulted him. Sam began to fight back and managed to break free. "I just kicked and punched and run, and he had the height to follow me," Sam said. Sam, whose name has been changed, as 14 when he was assaulted by Scott. The impact of Scott's actions is a pain Sam says he carries with him every day. "He's taken my dignity and everything away from me," he said. Sam's mum Michelle says she'll never forget that day. "We were driving home and he said to me, 'Mum, you've got to stop at the shop,' and I said why, and he said I've got to go and get bleach. And he said I need to wash myself," she said. Sam was assaulted in this public toilet. After the offense, it didn't take long for detectives to locate Scott. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 2 years and 10 months behind bars by Judge Clive Jeffreys. The reasons for his sentence were not published. It wasn't Scott's first offense. In 2003 he was sentenced to 13 years in jail for the sexual assault of a 13-year-old girl, who he met at the same park. He was also accused of indecently assaulting a 10-year-old girl while swimming at a nearby beach. Scott later appealed that sentence and was released on parole after just 2 years. Sam told his mother he wanted to wash himself with bleach afterwards. After serving his second stint behind bars, Scott was recently released back into the small community of Dorrigo in northern New South Wales, just over an hour's drive from where these horrific crimes occurred. He was relocated to a public housing home around 1 kilometre from a local primary school, and just 100 metres from a Girl Guides hall. Local residents are outraged. Grandmother Trudy Maynard wants Scott booted out. "It's terrible, our kids can't walk around the streets," she says. Following the death of their son Daniel at the hands of convicted paedophile Brett Cowan, Bruce and Denise Morecambe have been pushing for a national sex offenders registry, and it's a move Trudy strongly supports. Scott's residence in Dorrigo is just 100 metres from a Girl Guides hall. When Scott was arrested for his third offence, local Maddie Beale says no one was surprised. "The day that the police raided, I was at work at a local cafe within an hour of him being arrested, and in Coffs Harbour Police Station we knew who it was," she said. She claims Scott would often approach her and friend Emily Hennis when they were school age. "He would follow me everywhere and it got to the point where I would start jogging away from him," she said. Scott is now being relocated from Dorrigo. Local resident David Mashman is also concerned someone might take things into their own hands. While Scott says he is now undergoing counseling, residents fear he hasn't learned his lesson. It's not the first time the Judge Clive Jeffrey has caused controversy. In 2015 he came under fire for his soft sentencing of beta paedophile Maurice Van Ryan. His decision was later appealed and the original sentence doubled. The Court of Appeal found Jeffrey's sentencing to be manifestly inadequate. 2 GB broadcaster Ray Hadley believes in his opinion Judge Jeffreys should be not given any child sex cases in the future or any time. Commissioner of Corrective Services New South Wales Peter Severin says he's confident that everything is being done to protect the people of Dorrigo. Scott is still subject to home visits. He is still subject to regular reporting to our offices, and he is subject to quite close surveillance, which gives me comfort to know that the likelihood of him being able to offend going unnoticed are much lower, he said. It's small comfort for Sam and his mum, who say they weren't even notified when Scott was released. Corrective Services New South Wales have today confirmed that Scott will be given the option to relocate. Copyright 9 Digital Proprietary Limited 2018.